On today's live daily news, it's National Cheeseburger Day, but why should you wait until tomorrow? An update on that body in Lake Nazareth that they found last week, and consider me gone. Gone to the Reba corn maze, that is. Plus, the Angelo State Rams are starting the year on the wrong foot, but don't worry, Coach Gersh has answers. All this and more. I'm Matt Trammell, and this is Live. But before we get into the news, don't miss the Taste of San Angelo tomorrow night. That's right, the 48th annual Taste of San Angelo will be tomorrow starting at 6:30 in the Spur Arena. Every year, thousands of people and tons of restaurants from across town meet up and serve a little taste of what each spot is cooking. This is a great night, folks. Trust me, tickets are $30 on StubWire and $40 at the door, so buy yours now so you save a little bit of that money. That's the Taste of San Angelo tomorrow night at the Spur Arena. We'll see you there. We start the show today with a great coincidence. Tomorrow may be the Taste of San Angelo, but today is National Cheeseburger Day. Here in San Angelo, there are a ton of good burger spots, including Lone Star Cheeseburger, Grill-A-Burger, Angry Cactus, and more. But maybe you don't want to eat out. Well, go get you some good beef from the store and whip it up on the grill, and we'll tell you why later in weather, because tonight is going to be great for barbecuing. Of course, for me personally, I won't be celebrating. Instead, I'm saving my cravings for the Taste of San Angelo on Tuesday night. Remember, tickets are on sale on StubWire.com, or you can click the banner ad on SanAngeloLive.com. In other business news here in San Angelo, the corn maze out in Wall, the Circle S Maze and Pumpkin Patch, has released their design for the upcoming fall season. Fancy don't let me down, because Reba will be the inspiration behind this strange maze. The maze will open on September 30th, but the lights go out in Georgia on November 3rd. This is a great activity, especially for you single moms who work too hard, or should I say, the survivors. Moving into crime news today, a San Angelo drug dealer has been indicted for manufacture and delivery of cocaine by a Tom Green County grand jury. Back in June, a Tom Green County Sheriff deputy stopped 35-year-old Saron DeWitt after he made a wide right turn onto North Bryant from West 19th Street. The deputy observed a baggie that contained a white substance, and when DeWitt was asked for the bag, he refused. DeWitt then refused orders from the deputy and ultimately got out of his vehicle and began fleeing up the on-ramp on the Houston Hart. That's where the police ended up tasing him at. He was then arrested and, of course, charged with manufacture and delivery. DeWitt was booked into the Tom Green County Jail on June 16th and bonded out the same day with a $50,000 bond. DeWitt is due in court next on October 3rd for his initial pretrial. And a little update on the body that was found in Lake Nazareth on Thursday night. We told you on the show Thursday that the San Angelo Police Department discovered a body in the water at Mary Ely Park. Although the identity of the person is still unknown, we do now know that it was a 39-year-old male. Justice of the Peace Tom Daniel did pronounce the man deceased on the scene, and his body has been sent for an autopsy. Once we get that autopsy report back, they said it's going to be around a month or two, but we will let you know, especially if we find out the identity of the person. For weather this week, be expecting for those hot and dry temperatures to return. Today, highs did not get into that 100-degree range, but they were close with a temperature of 93 like it is out there right now. Expect most of this week to be like it was today. There's a small chance of rain on Tuesday and Thursday, but those are extremely unlikely. If something does change, however, we'll let you know on Tuesday's edition of the Live Daily News Show. And finally, a ton of players showed out on Friday night under the Friday night lights, but who played the best? Cover One analyst James Bellini will list off our candidates as well as the winner of this week's Carpet Tech Player of the Week. Before we get to him, though, here is a quick message from the Player of the Week sponsor, Carpet Tech.
So gross.
Right now, get 15% off carpet cleaning from Carpet Tech.
This past weekend, the Contra Valley had some incredible performances on the football field. Out in Belton, San Angelo Central's quarterback, Christian English, had 555 yards total offense and 5 touchdowns in their loss to the Tigers. But nonetheless, what a game from the Bobcats signal caller. Speaking of signal callers, Lakeview's Austin Perez threw for over 200 yards and 5 touchdowns in their loss to the Westerners. Out in Brady, they had 2 players, each on offense and 2 on defense. Running back Zeke Jones and Darrell Adair had 287 yards and 2 touchdowns combined, while Johnny Menefield and DeMarcus Reed combined for 28 tackles, 2 for loss, 2 sacks, 2 passes defended. Out in Sonora, Edgar DeLuna is a highlight reel himself, rushing for 218 yards and 4 touchdowns on offense, while going for 20 tackles, 3 for loss, and 1 sack on defense. One defensive guy stood out though as Jalen Torres for the Miles Bulldogs put on a clinic. Torres had 13 tackles, 3 for loss, 3 sacks, and 1 forced fumble on defense, and 3 catches and 42 yards and 1 score on offense. Because of that impressive showing, Jalen Torres is Cover One and Carpetech's Player of the Week. He'll be receiving his plaque later on this week, courtesy of yours truly engraving and awards. And watch the Cover One pregame show on Friday for the award presentation. Remember, if you believe your student athlete should be Player of the Week, email in your stats or send us a message. And of course, for everything sports in the Contra Valley and beyond, check in every day at sangerlive.com/sports.
The Nissan Titan can get the job done by flexing its muscle, commanding attention, and tackling the big jobs head on. The fearless 2023 Nissan Titan full-size truck is the truck for you. Right now at Jim Bass, get a new Nissan Titan and get 10 grand off MSRP. At these savings, these trucks won't last long. Come see us today at Jim Bass Nissan, corner of Houston Hart and Arden Road, or shop 24/7 at bassbunch.com.
The number 22 Angelo State Rams football team looks to correct a 2-game skid after falling 27-24 to Central Washington in Ellensburg last Saturday. On Monday, head coach Jeff Gersh held his weekly press conference to discuss the loss against Central Washington and what it will take to get back in the win column against Western New Mexico this weekend. Let's check it out.
All right, Coach. So, dropped a couple since the last time I saw you. Tell me how you're feeling about the team so far through 3 games.
Yeah, this past week was a tough one for us. It's we didn't play up to the level that we need to play at to win a game, and had a chance to win at the end. After playing, subpar football, especially on special teams. That was something that we took a step back at for sure this week. Last week when people asked me what we have to do to continue to win, it's play good on both sides of the ball and be good on special teams. And we took a step back there for sure. It's a good football team. We have a good football team, and we play a tough schedule, and that's what we want. And, you win close games, you lose close games. I still feel really comfortable with this team, and I know what this team's capable of. But, man, you got to play well each and every week, and that's something that we hope to get back on track doing this week. It was a long trip out to Central Wash, but it was a good trip. It wasn't anything that should have affected the way we play, and that part we just didn't play well, and they did. They played very well. So, hats off to them. They're well coached. They have a good program, and we just got to find ways to continue to get better as a football team, and not regress in certain areas too. We're going to get better and better on both offense and defense. We've been good on special teams, but we can't take that step back. So I still feel really good about this football team. The goals that we have set up to move forward are still there. It definitely tightens it up a little bit in the sense of losing too early, but that's football, and that's how we'll approach it.
Absolutely. Well, and a short-term regression from the last game was you guys averaged under 3 yards a clip on the ground. Tell me, is there something schematically you have to change just from your perspective to kind of help open that running game up a bit?
Yeah, a lot of that has to do with who you're playing. When there's 8 guys in the box, blocking 8 in the run game is hard to do. So, the schemes that we see defensively out of it, when you only rush the ball so many times, and they take that away, you throw for 320. When they play 8 in the box and you 3 deep, you can throw a little bit more. So probably the biggest thing is like what you're seeing defensively will kind of dictate how you're going to approach things. I'm not going to line up and run our run game into a box that you can't block everybody. That's something that comes down to. So you kind of have to adapt a little bit with that part of it. But, we're close. A lot of times with Central Wash and how they fit things, we block it and we say the back, you got to make one miss, and that's usually getting up to the safety, and we'll get it blocked up to the safety is our terminology with it. And we've done that. Their safeties made good plays and came down and tackled and did some things. But the other thing I'll say is we kind of got put in a position to have to throw it a little bit more than we wanted to, than we planned to. I not say wanted to. We can throw it, but that part of it going down, we had to throw the ball a little bit more, so our numbers in rushing were down a little bit.
Yeah, and in theory, right, whenever they put 8 in the box, you typically have those man-to-man matchups, right? But your quarterback in particular, he can fling it, but one thing that he has done a lot recently is in every game he's had an interception, at least one. So what do you credit those like little minor mistakes to? Because I know he's new in the system, and a lot of times those quarterbacks, they're either really high or really low, right?
Yeah, and I'll go back a little bit to, he threw 2 interceptions at West Alabama, and if you go watch it, 2 of them went right through the hands of receivers. So, that's something that understanding the perspective of the interception. The one he threw Saturday was a poor decision to throw the football, but at the same time, he had a 250-pound defensive end running right down that we didn't block, right down the middle in his face. So, there's some things that we have to get cleaned up in that part of it. And I will say that we've thrown the ball a little bit more than we have run it this year. So when you do have more attempts, there's going to be a potential for more interceptions being thrown. So you take the good with the bad with it. He's a very dynamic football player. He's somebody that puts us in good situations. Going into the last 2 weeks, we pretty much knew that we're gonna have to throw the ball a little bit for what those teams did with it. So you take the good with the bad for sure.
All right, Coach, kind of speak to the resiliency of your team. Obviously, like you were talking about, you guys got down early on in that game, but you continued to fight back and even had a chance at the end of the game. Yeah. How proud are you to see your team continue to fight throughout that entire time?
Well, there's no doubt. That part of it you can build on for sure, right? You can build on the positives that you take out of those games, and you got to find them sometimes. And there was no quit in it. There was poor execution at times on both sides of the ball, and obviously on special teams, you get a punt block for a touchdown. That's something that can't happen. Especially when you're not out schemed and you're just outmanned at certain times with it. And then they had another touchdown we lined up for a field goal, and it was a low snap, and our holder tries to make a play, throws a ball, and it's intercepted and ran back for a touchdown. Like those things don't happen a lot, so that's something our kids could have hung their head down and not played hard and when bad things happen, but they did. They fought back, and both of our, offensively and defensively, we did some really good things to keep us in that game when we didn't execute well on both sides of the ball as well as special teams.
All right, is there a sense of urgency from your team not to make sure that you don't go 1-3? Obviously, you welcome in New Mexico this week.
There better be.
Go ahead.
Yeah, there better be, on that part, and that's the thing, You have to take it, in stride. We talk each week about going 1-0, and we've put ourselves in position over the last couple of years. We've had some good years, right? And we put ourselves in position to, be the team with a mark on their back that everybody wants to go after and get their best game, and that's good. That's positive. That's a positive thing for our program. We have to live up to it, though. At the same time, our kids have to realize that. You got to go play your best each and every week, and if you're not getting better in practice during the week, that's something it's going to hurt you on Saturday. We've had a lot of injuries this year, but you know what? We have a lot of depth too, and we have kids that I trust and we need to count on and go. So it'll never be a crutch for us. We have good depth. Our next kid's got to step in and play, and that's the way it's going to be moving forward. But I am proud of them, and there's urgency every week, to get these guys right and back on track, because this is a good football team and has potential to do some special things still. But you're definitely that urgency gets increased, with a loss.
Last question here, Coach. You guys, like I said, welcome in Western New Mexico this week. Just what have you seen so far, if you have saw anything on film that they present a challenge to you guys, and that you guys must come out on Saturday night prepared to focus for?
Well, on defense, I watched a lot of their defense already, and they fly around on defense. They play some different, like 5 DB type defense, which means they do a lot of different coverages, a lot of different stunts. They're not big up front in the D-line that we've seen recently, but they're very active and moving around. So, we'll have our hands full in that part of it, trying to figure out blocking schemes and what we're doing with it. But, they've struggled, with their record right now, but their quarterback's a really good football player. That kid is a returning all-conference football player on offense, and he's got some good receivers at weapons out receiver, and so we just got to play an all-around good football game. That's the thing. We got to continue to get better and build, and they'll present us some problems at the same time, but we'll present them some as well, and hopefully we can get back in the win column. But make no mistake. I mean, you got to take this game, and you got to play your best game, in this conference. And if you don't, you can get yourself beat and embarrassed.
And Coach, we've talked about the offense and special teams. Let's talk about the defense for a minute. After giving up 31 points to School of Mines, the defense really only gave up 13 points last game.
Yeah.
What is the message to those guys saying, y'all are doing your jobs, we got to do better? How do you keep their heads up going throughout that?
That's coaching. That's leadership on that part of it, and leadership with the players. They're very prideful on both sides of the ball, and our kids know that. That's their job. I mean, their job is to worry about what offense is doing as an offensive player, and defense is what a defense is. And you take that challenge. As a defensive coordinator for all the years I was, I didn't focus on what our offense was doing. I focused on what our defense was doing, and it works both ways. Our offensive coordinators don't focus on what the defense is doing; they focus on theirs and work on putting them in good positions to win. So, I think the leadership with it, coaching. Coach Clark's going to have those guys prepared, regardless of it, and it's one of those things. You just take pride in your job and your responsibility, and any defensive player that I always said as a DC that didn't want to be on the field after a turnover or something, I don't want them. I want them out. I want them to be excited they get to go play the next play, and that part. So that's our approach with it, and it's just more it's an opportunity for them to continue to get better and continue to show what they're about.
And you say that the guys that y'all are playing this weekend, they got a really talented quarterback, obviously going to be accurate with the football, going to be throwing it around. How important is it going to be more of how long your guys can cover back on the back end in the secondary, or is the focus really getting after the quarterback with the pass rush?
Mixture of both, for sure. We do a good job of pressuring quarterbacks and putting them in tough positions on that. We try to stress their blocking schemes and their protection schemes and that. So, a mixture of both. We're going to have our hands full. We do play a lot of man-to-man coverage. So, winning your one-on-one man-to-man out there, but also getting help from the D-line and the linebackers on our pass rush will be huge for us this week. And just making that quarterback uncomfortable, getting him off his spot a little bit. He likes to sit back there. He's a 6'3", 220-pound kid, and he likes to sit back and throw it and get protection in the pocket. So just moving the pocket on him a little bit and getting him off his mark to throw the ball comfortable. That's going to be the plan going in.
And y'all have had a couple of turnovers, whether it be special teams or offense, at the last couple of weeks. How important of a goal is it to set for your defense to win that turnover battle, to get those takeaways? Yeah,
no doubt. That's something we want to win that battle every time. The turnover battle is huge in a game. If you go look at numbers statistically across the country, winning turnover margins, you win football games. You really do. It's hard to win a football game with a blocked punt. It is. It's hard. It's almost impossible. Field position's huge too. We've been in bad field position, whether that's ball bouncing down to the 1 yard line in the punt, not fielding the punt. Different things like that has put us there, and we've put the defense in bad field positions as well. They had 13 points, and I think 7 of them were legit drive right down the field, the first one, but the other 2 field goals, we put them in bad positions on offense to, they had short fields for field goals. So, obviously winning the turnover battle and taking the ball away, that's huge. But also the field position part of it's going to be big too, and making great choices with the ball. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
When it comes to unique pieces you can't find anywhere else, Kano's Diamonds and Coins is your one-stop shop. With over 24 years in the diamond and coin industry, Kano's Diamonds and Coins is West Texas's choice for diamonds, jewelry, coins, silver, and gold. Owner Bill Kano stands by his work and offers free consultations, including estate jewelry. Don't just trust anyone with your valuables. Come see the staff at Kano's at 1016 West Beauregard in San Angelo. All right, this has been our show for this Monday. Of course, come back every day this week, and you're going to find out all the news and an interesting interview all week long, and then that's going to lead up to our big program on Friday night with Cover One Sports. For everybody here at San Angelo Live, I'm Matt Trammell. We will see you guys tomorrow.